What's going on, everybody? How you doing on this Tuesday? So today is going to be super special. One of my favorite musicians in the whole world, Citizen Cope, is going to be joining us. He's going to be playing some music, and I'm fucking incredibly excited about this. So let's get him in here. All right, coming on in. Coming in hot. What's up, everybody?
Hey,
Yo, my brother.
how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm doing good. How are
Awesome.
you?
I'm great, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for putting out so much amazing music during this time. I know it's been medicine for so many people, myself included.
Oh man, I've just been, I've actually been wanting to kind of perform but getting the itch, so it's been a good good outlet to be able to do that and just enjoy doing it. I enjoy playing, so I've had some kind of like really deep moments. I did a little pay-per-view the other last Friday, but I've been doing a bunch of IG lives and Facebook lives and everything. So it's been
Yeah,
feeling.
that's good, man. I've heard from other musicians that now has been a really productive time for writing songs and stuff as well. Have you been putting down some new songs at all?
Yeah, I've been writing a little bit. I'm gonna probably go into writing mode here pretty soon. It usually takes me a minute to kind of, I don't write automatically when something happens, right automatically. It usually takes me, a little bit of time to kind of let it go through my circulation a little bit. But
Hmm.
it's definitely kind of writing mode time, a little time alone. That's always been good when you have that time. I've been touring so much last year. It's not the most productive writing uh,
Sure.
format, but now I'm
It
home.
comes when it comes.
Yeah,
You can't force art.
yeah.
You can sit down and see if it comes to you, but it's
That's
not.
all.
It's a pull, not a push. That's everything that I've ever seen.
Yeah, you never can want anything. You just gotta let it happen.
Yeah, man, for sure. You've also been doing some, before we get into some music here, you've also been doing some personal work as well. I don't know if you want to share any of that, but you've been exploring yourself a little bit as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I had been getting called to try to um, basically, I don't talk about it much, but I've been on the road pretty much for about 15 years and kind of uh, started with bad stage fright and everything and started kind of drinking too much and
Mm,
um, and that was something not during the show or anything, but afterwards I read up a lot about it and kind of wondered where it came from and came to a lot of conclusions that as well, not just the trying to get over the fear of performing, but um, the what happens with you after you're on stage and you have this high kind of thing going on. And I think
sure.
there's a cool article in the Guardian that talked about how a lot of performers became, you know, drug addicts or alcoholics, and I really looked at a lot of my peers that I've come up with along the way, and kind of, and even if I knew them well or didn't know them well or just knew them in passing, a lot of stories of people that passed along too early or struggled with substances or um, became broke or their families broke up, and there's just a lot of like, it doesn't have a great track record.
Well,
Um,
pain and art seem to go hand in hand. They're bedfellows. They
yeah,
sleep next to each other,
yeah. So
all the time. So it's no real surprise, when you look at it that way. But it's everybody's choice whether you turn that pain into some form of alchemy and some form of resistance you can overcome, or whether you
exactly,
let it ultimately wear you down and break you.
yeah. And then in my best, it's always something that kind of took me to a great place. Not the alcohol or whatever, but my music kind of took me out of where you know, was able to give me a release of what was in my heart and in my soul. And it kind of, I was able to express myself and have a point of view and have something to do, you know, as far as something that inspired me to do. And it was such a giving, it was such a gift that was given to me. And there was just a point where that took on a level of I had to, all right, I reached a certain peak, and then I can't use the same things that got me there to get me somewhere else. And like,
That's the wisdom right there. The thing that got you to where you are is not the thing that's going to get you to where you're going.
because
You know.
you can use all those things that inspired you, past issues, past pain, past, you know, heartbreak or whatever, that you can use those things in a really positive way. Anger, fear, all these somehow be used somewhere, but at some point they're not gonna they're not gonna they're not gonna deliver the same results. And I think I talked to you last time about it, was that, you know, getting to a certain point. And what I recently found out, music was kind of a what all the things that I thought initially that music would bring me, I realized that music was really just an avenue or a instrument for personal growth, and
Mm.
for to be able to learn more about what my point is here on this earth, and not just for like individual, or even just, you know, you hear of how, you know, the music has helped so many people, and that's so beautiful. And then, you know, sometimes like, well, I gotta also let it continue to help what I'm doing, because it's helping in this way, but now I'm kind of stuck. So to make a long story short, I did the toad ceremony.
Woo! You went for it, my man. You went for it.
And I went for the toad ceremony, and I've been reading up about ayahuasca and iboga for a long time, and it obviously listened to podcasts of yours and other people, and talk to people, and something was just well, calling me about the toad, and I thought that I would try this. And spent a couple of days with a medicine woman who, you know, and it was really amazing. I think I had an experience that I didn't expect, and they say it happens for everybody differently.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to just say, it wasn't like doing a drug. I didn't consider it like doing a drug. I thought it was really truly a medicine, and actually something that could help people in a lot of ways deal with trauma or depression, and really get to why they are doing what they're doing, not just, you know, a quick fix on something. But
Mm.
that really helped. You know, I haven't had a drink since, and
Amazing, brother.
you know, and it not only that, it kind of helped me realize what that was about, and what the reason behind it, not just like something that I took that cured it.
Well, the toad is not only the reason behind it, it's the reason behind capital I, capital T, the it of everything. The
Yeah.
origin, the Tao, the source, the mystery, the whole thing, capital L, love. Like Toad takes you all the way back to that starting point, back to that nexus at the Big Bang where the universe was the thumbnail and it was all brilliant white light looking to shatter into a million different pieces of articulation so we could experience and dance with each other. I mean, the Toad will do that.
That's beautifully said. I can't say it better. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, but it was that experience, and also with the healer who did it. Big shout out to Marie Teresa, and and was able to do something like that, where the conversation pre and post actually doing the ceremony was really important. We kind of came to a kind of a headbutt at a point, which, you know, I didn't expect to, but we had to really talk it through, which I thought was really important. And but for the most part, everything was really amazing, and I'm just grateful that I had the experience, and just thankful that I was enlightened by this, and kind of afterwards I was like, why don't more people know about this, and why isn't this used in more of people with depression or trauma or drug addiction, and then I was like, okay, I realize why now.
Yeah, I mean it's not for everybody, but for people who are called the 5-MeO-DMT or the toad ceremony, like you did, for those who are just joining, it's an incredibly powerful medicine, especially when you're able to do it in a ceremonial context. And there's still places, fortunately, in the world where it's legal to do this, and
Yep.
that's it's important to be mindful of all that. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, like if you're called to it, finding the people who can really hold that space, because it's a big energy, and to help you guide you through that the right way, it's just incredibly potent, man. So all the props to you for the courage to take that leap into one of the most powerful experiences that I've ever had in my life was doing 5-MeO-DMT.
Yeah. So tell me about yours.
I've done it 3 times, and they've all been identical, which is I just, because my experience, I've never had any psychedelic experience be identical. All 20 ayahuascas have been different. Every single time has been different. Every mushroom ceremony's been different. Every time I've done anything, every Wachuma ceremony's been different. Everything's been different. Every regular NN-DMT, which comes from the mimosa plant or another plant, that's all been different. But every time with the 5-MeO-DMT and the toad, it was the same, the exact same. And it was a complete immersion back to the everything, back to the all, back to source, where I was just holding what it would feel like to be that kind of unicity of all love, all feelings, all universe, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been really remarkable in its consistency in the journeys that I've been in, and the power. I mean, it goes through the manifest body, and it's like every single cell transmutes into just pure energy. It's fucking unbelievable, man.
It was. I mean, Maria mentioned something about being a soulgasm.
That's it. That's it, man.
And I
That's it.
love I love the description, the God molecule, and I think it definitely takes you to that, heavenly place, or just your body is just completely overwhelmed with, you know, joy and amazing. I can't even describe it. So
It is. It's ineffable, right? Like it's like you can throw words at it, but all of those words, fall short. Their fingers pointing at the moon, like Bruce Lee once said, right? Like, well, okay, like how do you point to it? Like you can't really describe it, but you can cast some words and get close.
yeah, you just gotta smile and laugh.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. That's even why, one of the funniest things I saw was Hamilton Morris does that Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, where he does all of the different psychedelics. And usually he analyzes them really like critically. And he was just lying on a riverbank going, love, 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 love. And when I interviewed him on my podcast, he's like, yeah, I don't know. I think one of the side effects was that I believed in God for 3 weeks. And I was like, it might not be a side effect, bro. It might be something a little deeper than that. So yeah, it's a special thing. Once
Oh,
again, not for everybody, and this isn't like us telling you guys all to do it, but it is
no.
a special medicine that the earth has gifted us with.
Yeah, I think it takes a real point where you feel like you have to, or you need something differently. And also, obviously, like you mentioned earlier, it has to be somewhere where, it's legal and everything like that, and
Hmm.
with the right people. Because I think that's important,
Yeah,
to have somebody that knows about it. And
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, let's give people some soul music now that
All
they're
right.
all warmed up with our talk about what this energy is all about here.
All right. All right. You got any requests? Any special requests out there?
No, man, you listen. This is soul guided. This is
All
soul
right.
guided. It's got to come from within you, my brother. I love all your music.
All right. This song is called Lifeline. When you're so long gone, can't help yourself. When you're so dead wrong, let alone no one else. Well, the children still down in the street, baby still living with the sea. And the cops got guns and the poor folk got sons who work for Mr. Franklin every week. So if you come looking for hard times ain't hard to find. Giving that lifeline only once in a lifetime. Baby, we were born. Baby, we were born to be sure to endure when the storm comes. Goddamn sad eyes, got them cat eyes, got them angels so tired for saving his life. I'm prepared to contain yourself before you end up killed. Yeah, his bare feet touching her bare feet, every sweet near the mountains sweet. And I forgot what the wise man said about that ancient thread. So if you come looking for hard times ain't hard to find. 'Cause we're giving that lifeline only once in a lifetime. Baby, we were born. Baby, we were born to be sure to endure when the storm comes. Well, maybe we were born. Baby, we were born to rejoice, rejoice when the sun comes.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. I can't. I just that brings me back to when we were sitting in that little room out there in Venice, and you
Yeah.
started playing, and I was, first time I got to hear you live, and I was just like, oh fuck. it's it's something that transmutes through your music, man. It's a beautiful thing. You got a
Thank
beautiful vessel for this and a beautiful soul.
I appreciate it. Likewise, I feel what you're doing. The first couple times I heard you really touched me about how you were open with your and such a great interview, and also had such a great story and such a great balance in life. It was
Mm.
very inspirational. Like I said, my sound man Duke was a huge fan of yours, or still is, and really inspired him to kind of get out there and doing hiking, jumping out of planes.
Yeah, living life,
Yeah.
living it all. Because the hard times are gonna come, they're always gonna be there, but we can't live in those. We got to
No.
live in the focused on where we're ultimately headed
Yeah.
to the beauty, back to the love, back to the light.
Absolutely. That's an unbeatable force.
Mm-hmm. Wins every time.
That's really what's going on right now too with the current state. I think that we have so much power within us to be able to, you know, you know, we can look at the doom and gloom about what's going on right now, but our power within us is really going to give us the ability to kind of connect together. And we all have this commonality now that's going on.
Mm.
Despite our political differences, our religious differences, our cultural or racial differences, that we all have this thing in front of us that we have the opportunity to kind of come together and tackle, and
No doubt.
we can do that with that love that we're talking about.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Let's give them some more love.
All right. Uh, I got this. I'm gonna sing this new song, "Scared of Heights." Got this funny little thing right here. It's called the Guitar Ukulele, and
Nice.
my friend Chris had this on the bus, and I started playing with it and writing this. Lay down, oh baby, child. Hey, now come as you are. Before you're finally delivered, you're gonna have to answer a call. It's a balloon when you look up. It's all in tune when you look up. Learning to fly when you're scared of heights. It's a full moon when you wake up. It's all in tune when you wake up. Learning to fly when you're scared of heights. Some get put off by silence because the truth, it carries some weight. How did we gain our alliance? Some clues were just meant to take. It's a full moon when you look up. It's all in tune when you look up. Learning to fly when you're scared of heights. It's a balloon when you wake up. It's all in tune when you wake up. Learning to fly when you're scared of heights. Too close to the flame, get burned. Penny say there's a penny earned. So glad to have this lesson learned. Ooh. Too close to the flame, get burned. A penny saved is a penny earned. So glad to have this lesson learned. It's a balloon when you look up. It's all in tune when you look up. Learning to fly when you're scared of heights. It's a full moon when you wake up. It's all in tune when you wake up. Learning to fly when you're scared of heights. Learning to fly. Learning to fly. Learning to fly. Learning to fly.
Yeah, brother.
All right.
There's something about that that ukulele vibe in there that just makes you like a little happy when you hear it. You know, you just strum it and all of a sudden like happiness meter just starts clicking up like a video game, like you were turning up the happiness bar.
Yeah, that's a uplifter that
Yeah,
ukulele always kind of
no
brings it.
doubt, man. And so true. It's hard to fly if you're scared of heights, hard to love
Yep,
if you're afraid to love, you
yep,
know?
yep. I have to give you a cheers.
Oh shit. Mountain Valley cheers.
You turn me on to this. I'm on stage and people think it's a bottle of Jameson. And I'm like, no, guys, this is.
Yeah. Well, my brother, let's
I
bring
don't
him
think they're
home
gonna
with
give.
one last song here, my man.
All right. Let me do. I know Caitlin probably wants to hear Sideways.
There's been some Sideways requests. There's been some D'Artagnan's something requests.
All right, I'll do D'Artagnan.
Cool.
I've been sinning and I've been living and I've been beaten by Saturday on a diamond. I lay on a diamond, on a diamond. I lay awake. D'Artagnan, good old D'Artagnan. He ain't got a thing on me, 'cause I've been minding to my field of timing. It's too bad your timing, it just never came. Well, I don't know how else to say in a different way. Why don't you just fade away? 'Cause there's a battle going on down south of Babylon. So why don't you just fade away? I've been dealing and I've been healing and I've been dealing a crooked game. Thieving pirates, I'm thieving pirates. I gold that they stole from the queen. Stole from a man whose favorite hand is one that he would always lend. Well, I'm building this a levee by the Mississippi, or I'll die in a unmarked grave. Well, I don't know how else to say in a different way. Why don't you just fade away? 'Cause there's a battle going on down south of Babylon. So why don't you just fade away? Well, I don't know how else to say it in a different way. Why don't you just fade away. 'Cause there's a battle going on down south of Babylon. So why don't you just fade away? All right.
Yeah, brother. Thank you, my man.
I got one question for you.
All right.
I know you probably told all your listeners, but what was that isolation thing like?
Oh, yeah. 6 days in absolute darkness, absolute silence, absolute isolation. And that was wild, man.
So
It was wild.
did somebody, I was wondering how would somebody bring you something to eat or no food?
So outside of my room, which is completely blacked out, there was a blacked out hallway.
Oh,
And
okay.
people would drop food onto, like, I was in a house. It was like kind of imagine a bed and breakfast with rooms that had like a little tiny bathroom in them as well. So I was in my room the whole time, and someone would bring food and they would drop it off on this blacked out table. So you'd have to feel your way around, and then they would ring a little bell when the food was coming, and they would mix it up at different times of day. So you didn't really know when it was day or night, but I could kind of hear the roosters outside of the house. So I kind of knew, like, roosters crow in the day, owls hoot in the night, like, so I was able to kind of figure it out. But you'd go bring the food in, and then you'd eat it, and then you'd bring it back out. So the first few days you're battling with your mind, and then the last 3 days you start to get this endogenous DMT dump and start to have visions, and the visions come and then they don't stop, and the visions keep going. I mean, I was in the visionary state for over 72 hours straight, and without taking any drugs, just the darkness causing my own brain, my own third eye to burst open, and everything to come through. So it was unbelievable.
That sounds like it. And there was no conversation, no.
Mm-mm.
Were you doing push-ups? It was like
I did some push-ups. You do everything. You do the breath work. You do meditation. I was doing some yoga. I would do little workouts. Sometimes I would just shake.
yeah.
You just come up with interesting things to do, just like kind of bouncing around and shaking, and passing the time. I had like a little mantra, like a self-love mantra that I would do. I had a little voice recorder that was blacked out. We put some like blacked out tape on it, and I learned how to do that in the dark.
Right.
So I was fortunate that I was able to like actually turn it off and on. I was worried that I would like did it wrong and had it backwards, but I ended up being able to record my experience. So at some point we'll put out like a video with some of my recordings and things.
Oh, that's great. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Posner went up to you with. Did you guys go in the cold, right?
That was right before it. Yeah. We went up with Wim Hof, did some breathing, and climbed that icy mountain, Mount Śnieżka in Poland. And that was a fucking rad experience too. It was a good preparation for the darkness, because all those breathing techniques and all the, pushing through the challenging external helps you push through the challenges internally as well.
Right. That's amazing. Yeah, I talked to his manager the other day, and he said Mike went up there with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a gem, man. He's another beautiful human.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was enjoying his podcast with you too.
Yeah.
I heard he got bit by a rattlesnake on his
Yep.
paw.
His new nickname is Snake Bite. Snake Bite.
That's great. I gotta link up with him sometime.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'd be happy to link you guys up.
All right, man. Well, thank you, Aubrey.
Yeah, thank you too, brother. So much love to you, my man. We'll keep in touch.
Love to you too, man. I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, likewise. And thanks to everybody listening in. You guys have been so sweet. The comments have been amazing. So thank y'all, and I'll be back soon here on live.
Take care.
See y'all.